What's up creators, it's Yuka. Today I'm going to be talking about the Spectacles Generation 2. So the new Spectacles Generation 2 has now been out for a couple weeks. I just got mine in the mail a couple days ago. I just unboxed it, so I haven't really used it yet. But here it is. I got the ruby color. I'm going to be talking about the difference between the first generation versus the second generation. But just as a disclaimer, I actually never bought the first generation. I've played with it, I've borrowed it, probably used it for a couple hours, but just so you know, I never bought one. I really wanted one when it came out, but it was just impossible to get. And then once it was kind of available, the hype was already over and I just couldn't justify getting it. But the reason I got the second generation is because there's so much more upgrade in the quality and just how it looks. It just convinced me to get one. So now the price is $150 versus $130 when the first generation came out. It just feels like a more sophisticated version of the first generation. Now it's much lighter, it feels less bulkier, and it just looks less like you're wearing spectacles. So in terms of quality, the video and photo resolution has gone up by 25% apparently. Now you can take photos in 1624 by 1624 or videos in 1264 by 1264. So if I were to put that in my YouTube video, it's probably going to look pretty decent if I were to do it on a 1080 resolution, or even in 4K. I could probably pull it off, but we'll see. Or you'll see this in the video. So another cool thing about the second generation is that now spectacles is water resistant. That means you could take it out to the pool, the beach, or in the rain, or in the shower, whatever. It says in the website that you can probably not dive, but put it in shallow water. That's really exciting. I'm definitely taking it to the pool or to the beach this summer. So in terms of the look of it, I got the reddish color, which is called the ruby. The three new color schemes look much more sophisticated than the first generation. In the second generation, there's ruby, onyx, and sapphire, whereas the first generation had coral, black, and teal. And the first generation, it just felt like a toy, and the color scheme, it's too poppy and neon-y, for me at least. That was another thing I got super excited about when the second generation came out. So this isn't paired with my phone yet, so I'm just gonna try doing that and kind of show you how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to open up Snapchat, go to your setting, go to spectacles, pair new device, press and hold the button for 7 seconds. Ooh, cool. So before I take this out on a test run, just wanted to talk about the use case I'm thinking of. I am actually not a big Snapchat user anymore. I'm much more likely to be on Instagram stories, but I thought Spectacles Generation 2 could kind of replace the necessity of a GoPro. So I used to have a GoPro Hero 6, but I gave it away because it just didn't fit my lifestyle. It felt like I had so much lag. It's never charged when I needed. Like, you need a mount, and it's just like a little too much for me to handle. So I think this could be potentially replace it, because I could just mount it on my face by just wearing them. I think it would be just cool to have a circular video. I might post it on Snapchat, but I'll more likely be using those videos for YouTube and Instagram stories. So if you are not following me on either of those, go follow me right now. And yeah, we'll just take this out for a test ride today. Let's go. Please tell us what we're doing next.
We're going to open house.
There's Frida. Look at that. I could totally do this. Woohoo! Look at this house. Oh my god. So beautiful. 너무 큐트했어. Got it? Okay. So, what did you guys think? I had a lot of fun shooting on the spectacles yesterday, and now I just finished editing kind of like the spectacles vlog. A couple things I noticed while I was shooting and also editing, so I wanted to share that with you before we go. The first thing is the build quality. I really think this is a super solid piece of like hardware and sunglasses. It just feels really good. And the first generation, I remember that the glasses part felt really heavy because this part where kind of the machines are and the camera and battery and everything was really big and heavy. So it felt like the balance was a little off. I think this one's pretty good. And I really like that this part is transparent. It has the logo on it inside and everything. Yeah, so I really like this as a hardware. Another thing I noticed is about the video and how it exports. So what I did is I've connected my spectacles to the Snapchat app. What I did is imported the videos, and then from there I airdropped it to my iMac Pro so I can directly get the video and edit on my computer. What I noticed is that the video file itself is actually 1280 by 1280 because there's like a little bit of white on top and bottom and on the sides. So I think the round part is 1216 by 1216. And then the entire video size is 1280 by 1280. So very small difference, but I don't know, it wasn't in the specs, so I thought I would share that with you. The thing that I did not really like is, first of all, there's no video stabilization. So when you're walking, the video feels pretty shaky. And then the frame rate is 60 frames per second. So that's not really my favorite type of frame rate. Usually when I'm shooting on my vlog, I usually shoot in 24 frames. If I want to do a slow-mo, I would shoot in 60. I don't know how much people care about that, but I care about that more than other people. On some clips, you might have noticed that I slowed it down to 24 frames per second, so it feels a little bit more smoother and it's like a little slow-mo. And then the other thing also might not be super common, but the naming convention when I export the video is not in numerical or alphabetical order. So it's gonna create a kind of like a ID sort of thing that is not, it looks like it's random, so I can't reorder by the date, and all the metadata is probably lost when it's exported. So what I had to do is kind of look at my app side by side with my editing screen to make sure I actually have these clips in the right order. So that was a lot of work. I had probably like 50 to 60 clips, and so it was a lot of work, but if you're working with less, it might not matter as much. The other thing I noticed is the camera is super wide. In some clips, I was actually trying to kind of point out something on the side, and I thought my face was looking that way, so it'll kind of focus on this side. But then when I looked at the clip, it was like here. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it's so wide that it captures a lot of things, but you kind of have to have your face centered to whatever you want to focus on, because just by looking, it's really hard to see what you're trying to point out. Because it's so wide, the things that are centered looks a lot more further away than it looks in real life. So there was one scene that I was trying to point out a wall drawing graffiti thing, and it looked really close, and like I could see it in real life, but it was a little bit harder to see in the clip because the lens is so wide that it looked like it's pretty far away, and what I was trying to point out was really small. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so that you get more videos like this. Let me know in the comments if you've ever wanted a spectacles. Do you own the Generation 1? Did you get the spectacles Generation 2? And or if this video maybe inspired you to maybe want to get one. So let me know, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!